just winding down for Christmas. Yeah, tell you what, I'm ready for it. Let me tell you that working life after working on for yourself for 3 years and then changing to having a boss, it's it's taken a little bit of adjusting to, but actually I feel like I'm working with friends, if the truth be known, and I'm quite enjoying it. Of course, it sort of hampers the trading, but there's always a way. As I like to say, there is always a way. Anyway, last week, probably the worst week I've had doing this strategy. I ended up the week, I think it was about 60 pips down. When you consider I was nearly 600 up over the 2 weeks, I don't think that's so bad. So I did think to myself, can I get any more out of this strategy? So I sort of changed it a little bit, and I thought I'd share it because that's what I do, innit? I'm giving the gurus a run for their money at the minute because they're trying to sell you something. And actually, I bought into some of this stuff, and half the time it's just no good. So I thought, I'm going to upset everybody and just give everything away. The only thing I always say to people is if you go and open a live account on my link, which is below, with my broker, this is my broker. I do trade with these every day. If you do open with that and you do deposit money, I'd get a little bit of money for that. So that's probably the only real support you can give me, other than saying well done or this is great. I tell you what, if anybody's making any money out there with these strategies, it'd be great to hear it, because I know I'm doing okay with this one that we're doing now, which is the London Breakout. I call it that because I don't set the orders until just after 8 AM UK time. Right. So what are we doing then? Well, first things first, I've changed this. Now this is the risk calculator, and what I've done is I've added this data just to speed things up, because I'm actually doing this against the clock in the morning now. So all we can do now is we can change the number of pips we're risking a lot quicker, and we can change the value of the pip. So you'll notice on this chart that is applied in the template, let's make one of these bigger. So we've got the value of the pip, which is 6, and that'll change across these pairs. 6, and then we've got an 8, a 7, and 5, and an 8. So it just goes to show you how different they are. So I thought, crikey, this is taking a little bit of a while, so I need to speed that process up. I'm obsessed with being efficient. So I thought I'll add drop downs, which is exactly what I've done. So if you know how many pips you're risking, I always start at somewhere around 50 at the moment. Oh, do you know I've missed one out there? I'll add that in, shall I? And re-upload. Hold on, let's just insert one there. So in this trading video, we'll also discuss how to edit Excel. Oh, happy Christmas. Have I got that right? 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 95, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. He's never going to get that big. Once he gets past about 60, 65, I start losing interest, if I'm honest. So we've got all that. Let's just save that. I'll upload this again. Before you see this video, that'll be there. So actually, I didn't even need to say anything, did I? Look, the new one's there. It isn't, but it isn't. It's like I'm talking in the future. Hey, I'm actually travelling in time. Tick tock. Oh god, that's ridiculous, isn't it? So I think hopefully you'll see the previous video where it's got the pip value. I've got a pip value missing there now, look. Oh my gosh, I've got to fix that. Anyway, listen, this will all be sorted for when you get there. I think I just need to edit the, let's go data. Where's the validation? Hold the line, callers. Validation. Data validation from a list. So I just need to bring that up one, I think. Yeah, I just need to bring that. There's the validation. Okay, so there's your, what did I say then? Oh, hang on. Yeah. Okay, look, so the Excel training is not very good, is it? I'm not going to make a great Excel trainer, but listen, let's get real here. This is where we're measuring there. Right, now press OK. Okay, so I should have a 5 in there. Right, so we've got it all there. Okay. Well, there's the lesson. Take a copy of this before you edit it. Unless you're better at Excel than I am, which probably wouldn't take much doing. We've got a 50 now. Right. So that's where I'm starting. Anyway, so that's the first thing I've done. And I did this based because it was just quicker. It's just quicker. I mean, let's face it. If you can do this 5-10 minutes in front of the charts daily and then go off and earn money elsewhere, and this works out, that's the plan, isn't it? We're talking, and then you can start compounding it, which is another spreadsheet I've got. Actually, I have done one with compounding. I'm just tuning it at the moment, and I'll release it. It's like a trade plan. But you know, if you did this for a year, less than that, probably 6 months, you would have an income. Right, okay. So what have I done? Now, before, you'll remember we used to place a stop order. Let's find one that was working, because this one doesn't work for the strategy. I'll see if I can find one. So here we go. So before, what we were doing was we were placing a stop order like this at the breakout of this box. Now the problem with this is, or rather the problem that I found was, A, it doesn't always make the target. In this case it did, but let's forget about that. The strategy, yeah, I'll just remind you of the strategy. So we're trading, if we're above and clear of the 50 average, and the average is pointing anything like up, then we're looking for the upward breakout. And so we would place a stop order here, like so. And because, oh hang on, before we do that, we measure the risk, which is this box. And this is important. So let's just say that's 50 pips, which is why I always start on 50, because it often is. So I start on 50 pips. So we're risking 50 pips, and this pair's a 6p pair, so we change that. So we're going to be doing 0.3, so we're risking 3k on that. So then we drop our order in, and we make this 3k. I've actually got separate script, as you can see below, based on the price, and then I just adjust the stop, but this is more accurate. The risk on this is 50. And the target's going to be the same, because until it gets above 50, we don't change the target. And then we click OK, and boom. You have to ignore these. I could do taking these out, but this is for when I used to do grids a la simpleton. So that's how we do that. Right, we're not doing that now. What we're doing is we're going to trade the pullback into 75% of the box. So let's get bigger on this, because I haven't quite mastered this, and you guys might need to do a little bit of homework on this one. Let me just get these pivots off, because the pivots don't really play into it. So let's so then there's our box. I'm not going to clean this out now, but hang on, let me just fix the scale so we can do this bigger. So what we're looking at then, I'm thinking of buying like a 75% pullback. Now I might just change this fib tool to have my own, maybe 70%, because to guarantee a fill, that's tight, isn't it? If you were to buy that, you might need to be buying it. Oh yeah, you'd buy it here, wouldn't you? But then the price has got to clear it. So if your spread was a little bit wide, you wouldn't get it. So let's say we bought the 70. Well, let's see what. Let's have a look. I'm going to add a fib value to this. So what can I add? Let's. Where's the 76.4? There you go. So we'll copy that, and then I'll add one. I'll paste it, and then I'm going to change it, and I'm going to make it 70%, and I'll call it 70, and we'll have a look how that looks. Now, I checked on most of these; they don't all. So you could just say, "Well, I want to come back to the bottom of the box," but that doesn't work. Now, 70. Yeah, I think that would work. I think you'd get away with that. You could go 65. You could even just do it good old 61.8. You're pretty well guaranteed a fill there. But of course, the higher up you fill this for a buy, because remember we're buying, we're above the 50. So the higher up you fill this, let's think. I'm just trying to find the right words here. Okay, so the higher up there you fill, the more risk you've got. So what my theory is this: we can risk less. So let's say 30 pip risk across the board. So we're straight away on the up, although often, or sometimes it can be that anyway. But we're also increasing the odds of a bounce because we've already bounced from this, or it's because it's at the bottom of the range. So what might happen is that the price might drop down here to take out the other side of this, and this is when you get, the whipsaw thing. So if it comes down here, you need to leave enough breathing space. So let's say 30 pips of worth of stop at 70%. Yeah, right. So we'd have got to fill there. So then I'm thinking that, okay, so we'll get 50. So rather than go for 50, let's go for 75, which we can easily do on this pair, this particular trade. But this is not always going to be the case, is it? So let's not get greedy. We could still go for 50. We're still winning. Or we could go for 60. See, this is the thing at the moment. I'm not sure about this because I haven't done this live. This is what I'm doing, well, some of next week because it's holidays, isn't it? But that's what I'm going to be trying to do. So I've updated the download for this, which is, the links are in there here as well. So the limit script's in there, and the other link is for the risk calculator, which I will have updated by the time you're watching this. So what do you think of that then? I think it could be good. It's just finding your place here. 61.8 probably would be a reasonable, but I think 70 is better. You're just lowering your risk, but if you're giving yourself more chance of survival. So if you risk 30 below there, there's our stop. Should we put a line in? So if you risk 30 below there, 61.8. See, that's more like a 70, isn't it? I don't think it matters. You know what? You could just as well put your stop there on this pair, but you wouldn't get away with it on others because there's a bit of whipsawing going on today. Let's see if we can find a whipsawing pair. There's a whipsaw. Right, so this is above, not particularly clear, but we're always hoping for a rise on the pound because we're British, and because it's in the London session. So let's just say we did buy this at 70, whatever percent it was. Let's have a look. Just fix the scale so we can do the thing. So let's just say we thought this was going up because there's a slight slope up. So we decide, okay, we're going to do it. So we'll put the fib from the bottom to the top because it's going up. And we want to get the 70%. So we'd have got our fill here. Our stop would have been way down here. We could have probably put this a little bit tighter, I don't know. You can tell when the market's moving, can't you? If anything. So we've got a 30 pip stop now. We didn't get stopped out until here. So how far did we go before that? 70%? 1 to 1. We didn't. That would have been a stop out. It's as simple as that, really. Let's look at the day before, because actually looking at the day before, this is like a. Let's see how this one panned out. So this is 70, which is here. Apologies, there's an extra there's an extra fib on there. Let's get rid of it. Okay, so 70% line is here. You would have got filled there. You didn't get stopped out. Ooh, not quite 60 pips. But do you know what? I wonder if you could put a trailing stop on these. That could be interesting. But you wouldn't want it tight. You'd want it like 40 pips or something like that. You'd want it so that if it gets there, you don't end up losing, which you wouldn't here. I mean, I'm a big fan of closing off before the night ends. And actually, if you saw that at what? That's 8 o'clock, so that's 6 o'clock UK time. Or is it 10 o'clock? I can't remember now. Do you know I struggle with this time and these brokers? Yeah, so this is 8 o'clock. This is actually 6 o'clock at night. And if you just saw that rejection at 6 o'clock at night, end of day really, let's close out. We can get some more pips tomorrow, or might not. Oh God, I'm doing it again. Do you remember last time, the last video, I was burping like this? I have not long eaten, you see. We're all getting ready to go out and visit some family for Christmas. So here's an example. Look at this, another one. In fact, if you were greedy, you could have had 2 spots. So we drop our limit in at 70%. Let's do it. Let's get rid of the pivots. Just so it's cleaner for you. Delete. Goodbye. Goodbye to Jane. Goodbye to Jane. She's a darkest queen. No. So we're going down because we're under. We're clear of the 50 average. This is a nice looking trade, actually. Right. See, actually, I think I didn't trade this, or I got stopped out on it, because look where it came back to. Right where the stop is. And the spread alone took that one out, if I remember right, or up here somewhere. Yeah, so that's why I thought I'm going to change this strategy. So if that come back to 70%, which is, let's put a line on the 70%. 70%. Okay. So we got to fill, well, assuming this was out the way, we got a limit order here. Say here. If we could have done, you know what? If not, we could have put it a bit higher if we had to go out, or wait for it to drop down a bit. And if you'd have missed this fill, you'd have got this fill. And that made 60 pips. If you'd got on this one, you'd have made good money, wouldn't you? So if it was that one, and I'm not around to watch it, so I can't tell you exactly how it played out. But that's 80 pips. So trying to find the target, I mean, I'll tell you what, let's just leave it at 50 for this week. I'm going to target 50, or for the next couple of weeks, because it's holidays. I'm going to target 50 pips. The markets are going to be potentially slow anyway. We're not sure about that. So we'll leave the target at 50, but we'll get the stop tighter. We'll get the stop to... Do you know what? Let's go for 25. Right, everybody. 25 pip stop, 50 target. That means you've got to win 1 in 3 to break even. Don't move it. That's what we're going to do. 70% for the fill. Right? 70% pullback. Add it to your fib. If you don't remember how to do that, here's how we did it. Double click on this, the fib highlighter. Right click on the little these dots. Fibbo properties. And we added a level. And the level we added was 0.770. And you can, if you wanted to, you could delete all the others just so you can be clear on what you're doing. You might want to clean this chart up and take the pivots off, which can be a little bit annoying if you're trying to see the pivot, because we're not really using those. I mean, I just like to know where they are. All right, how's that look then? How's that for something to do over Christmas holidays? If you're bored, I don't think I'm going to be bored somehow. Got so much to do, so a little time to do it. Anyway, the good ladies bought me a drink of tea. Check this out. How very British. How very British. Anyway, I'm going to see some friends of mine December the 29th over at the Robin 2 in Bilston, because a friend of mine's a big fan of Cozy Powell. It's an anniversary of his, or a birthday or something that they're doing, and he's got I used to play with him in a band, and he's got Cozy Powell's old like really heavy steel drum kit, so he's taking that, and there's all sorts of big names coming along. So I'll be going along to say hello to some friends and get some good music down. I'm not quite sure it's as relaxing as this kind of music. Oh yeah, no way. It's going to be quite heavy rock, I think, from all accounts anyway. So that'll be good. And outside of that, if you're a musician, you know how difficult it is to make a living. Yeah, that's why we've all got jobs as well, most of us. Although I've been quite lucky with it at times. It's not always been good. Anyway, I think I'm going to go because it's Christmas. I've got to go. It's almost 6 p.m. at night here in the UK. It's dark. We're wearing sunglasses. We got a tank full of gas. Let's hit it. Oh yeah. All right. Right, the download links are below. Don't forget, write to me on here. Drop a comment in or something. just to say stuff's working out for you. And you know what? If you're struggling with it, I'll try and help you as well. If I don't make it clear enough. You know what I mean? But really, all we want to do is drop this limit script. 70%. 25 pip stop. 50 pip target. Don't be greedy. We'll try and get a bit more out of it later on. But for now, let's stick with 50 pips. Because I had a few that... the reason I did this was because I had a few that only made it to 30 pips. So I didn't get cashed out. I got stopped out. And I'd rather cash out than stop out. All day, every day. Oh, yeah. The old Philly crew have gone quiet now. Wonder what's wrong with them. Come back on. There you go. Anyway, you know what I'm going to say now? I'm going to say have a great Christmas. Spend some time with the family. Never mind the trading. Look out for somebody who's old. If you've got any old people next door, pop round. Give them 10 minutes of your time or more. Try and make them laugh. Talk about the old days. Have a drink with them. Or even bring them round to your house and give them a meal, for goodness sake. They were young once. They know what it's like. You got to look after those old people. If you got parents are old, look after them. They're not going to be here forever. I'm down to one. I know what it's like. All right, you take care. Have a good Christmas. Jingle bells. Signing off. You know, we like to have a little bit of a... This is beautiful, that is. Beautiful roads. Muted trumpet. Hammond. It's got everything you need, isn't it? Oh, look at that bass. Turn it up. Nice. Even the guitar's good. Everything's good in this. I wonder, that drummer's got some great discipline in it. I mean, you listen how little he's doing. It's great, isn't it? Little skips in there. But anyway, yeah, I wish I got the Hammond out for that one. It's a lovely sound he's got on that Hammond. It sounds real. It doesn't sound like a fake Hammond, and I'm pretty sure I'd know a fake Hammond. Anyway, all I'm going to say is this. Jingle bells, Merry Christmas. Be good to somebody. Yeah. I gotta go. It's just too much. Yeah, see ya.